Hello, my dear friends. My name is Felix Okeke. I welcome you to Marriage Without Tears. I'm your marriage counselor and coach, and I believe God that if you can only pay attention, your marriage will become blessed. Your marriage will become the epitome of your design and desire. When we started this very particular channel, our interest and vision was to create a platform for information and education for married couples, so that you not only become an excellent wife, you also become a worthy husband. So that at the end of the day, your expectations for getting married will not only be met, it will be exceeded. And I believe, God, that all over the world where people are receiving our productions, lives are being changed, and yours will never be any difference. And if you listen to our topic tonight, you will also be wonderfully blessed. What are we talking about today? We are simply looking at how to know when your spouse is cheating. How to know when your spouse is cheating. The reality of life is that once in a while, a spouse may stray off course. Because when we are talking about love, falling in love, whatever you fall into, there is the tendency for you to also fall out. So there are certain times in our relationship, our spouses, when we don't feel as honey as we used to be, we don't feel as loving as we used to be. There are times when we have temptations from the opposite gender outside the home. You may also, for whatever reason, either for complacency on the part of your spouse, your interest may it may go to somebody else. So things like that do happen. But, the reason why I'm actually discussing this topic tonight is because of a young lady who came to my office some time ago, and she said, if I ever catch my husband with another woman, if I ever catch my husband cheating on me, I will do so and so. And I said, what are the indicators? How will you know? She said, I don't know, but if I ever catch him, the reality is that the man she's talking about may actually be cheating, because our instincts most of the time does not lie unto us. So, but you need to understand some certain indicators, some certain things you see in a man or in a woman, and you know for certainty something is happening that ought not to happen. This is what we want to talk about today. Number one, if you discover that your spouse's sex drive has suddenly changed, then something must be happening somewhere along the line. If you discover that somebody who is totally, active before with you in bed, over a period of time, not because he's tired, because of business or whatever, but somehow he becomes weaker and weaker when it comes to matters of the bedroom. He is no longer taking much interest on you. He's no longer interested in whether you are naked around him or her. He's no longer interested. He pays more attention to some other things. Even when you are standing with him naked, he doesn't care. It may be an indicator that something is happening outside the home. When a man gets, hooked onto another woman outside the home, the passion, the everything around him, the emotional part of it is, it takes it away from the home and locates it in the heart of another woman. Before you know it, the wife at home does no longer appeal to him. So that may be your case. If such is your case, you may begin to, seek for ways of making amends. By next production, I will tell us what you need to do. But I'm just giving you signs. If you also discover that the man or the woman has become hyperactive, this is somebody who used to be like a dummy on the bed. He doesn't know her left from her right. But suddenly, all of a sudden, she's all over you. She's running riot. So you watch out. It may be that some certain lessons are being learned outside of the home. So these are indicators. When there is a sudden change in sex drive, then watch out, watch out, watch out. Number two, if there is a sudden change in the dress sense of the person concerned, this is somebody who used to wear sloven dresses, or rather, she or he does not care about what they put on when they are going out, either for work or for pleasure or for leisure. They don't really care. They can pick up anything and wear and check out of the house. If they are going for a party, they don't care what they wear. They can put on anything. But suddenly, even while going to the office, He is more articulate now. He wants to take out time and bath and brush his teeth and look clean and change his shirt several times over and put on the best cologne and put on the best perfume. I mean, if he's a man that has hair, he combs his hair, he looks at himself in the mirror, he smiles at the mirror, he checks out himself. He's not asking the woman, how do I look? No, he's checking out himself, he's checking out every side. The same thing with the woman. When the woman suddenly develops an interest, a passion for the in thing in terms of fashion, she wants to put on the best. I mean, she dress, she doesn't want to wear the same cloth over and over again. But that's what she used to do. But suddenly her dress sense have changed. You may begin to check it out very well. It may be that he or she is dressing for somebody to admire him or her. So these are indicators. These are indicators. The third one, if suddenly there is a break in communication to the level whereby quality communication that used to flow from love, from compassion, is now being changed onto indifference. I mean, the couple, somehow, the man or the woman is now indifferent. It doesn't really care. Most women will start nagging when they're in a relationship because the man they used to respect, they are very loyal to somehow. They have carried that respect and loyalty to a lover outside. So the man has become like a piece of rag. And so before the man opens his mouth to say anything, the usual thing he used to say that may even be considered a humor in the home, as he says it, the woman nags at him, she shouts on him. I mean, she doesn't mind using any kind of language on him. You are lazy, you are this, you are that, you don't meet up this, you don't meet up that. Look at you, all your mates are doing this, all your this, and they look at how you are. I mean, she begins to compare the man to somebody outside. So when that kind of thing begins to happen, you must begin to be on the watch out, because somehow your woman is straying away. Your man is straying, of course. And then, of course, it can also happen to the man. When you discover a man, suddenly he begins to compare his spouse, his wife, to a woman outside. He begins to, you dress like other women. Don't you see Mrs. So-and-so? Don't you see so-and-so? There's a tendency that inside of his heart, he has a silent passion for that Mrs. So-and-so. That is how it is. So, check it out in the area of communication. And of course, tied to communication, I mean, when he receives his call, there's a call that comes through on his phone. How does he react to it? Does he just pick it and begin to answer, even right there in your presence, possibly put it on a loudspeaker and he's answering right there in your, or does he suddenly cut it off and put the phone away? And you're wondering, what happened? Why are you cutting your call? Why don't you answer? Why don't you pick up your call? Or possibly whenever any text comes into, he reads it and the next thing he deletes it. So there is always, the indicators are there. If you are observant, the indicators are there. Sometimes he may even encrypt a code in his phone or in her phone that makes it impossible for any other person to have access. Then something is going on. So these are indicators. If you are observant enough, in the area of communication, you get a whole lot of things. When a man or a woman is involved in an affair, the communication level deteriorates. If it used to be a loving quality communication, suddenly you discover that they are no longer communicating the way they used to. At any point in time, the man is angry. At any point in time, the woman is ecstatic. She's angry. She doesn't want to, that is a major indicator that something is wrong somewhere. Of course, before I go into the fourth one, please, if you have not subscribe to my channel, do so immediately. There's a red button by my side. Click on it and get subscribed immediately. I want you to always be part of what we are doing on this wonderful channel. And of course, the fourth one, you must watch out for his general behavior. The general behavior is never the same. Once there is an infiltration, once there is something that has happened in the relationship, once there is a hiccup somewhere in the relationship, the behavior will never be the same. Like I said, sometimes the man will walk away simply to pick up a call. At other times also, there may be things he has developed, maybe a leisure activity, and he doesn't want you to be part of it. he picks up his bat, he picks up his ball, and he's checking out. Normally, you used to go out on leisure strolls with him. He doesn't want you to be around him just like that anymore. Anytime that he's doing something extra, leisure activities, which he has picked up, instead of teaching you, he simply wants to enjoy it by himself, or possibly enjoy it by his newfound love. So these are things, these are indicators. These are indicators. Sometimes when he comes back from the office, the first thing he does is he rushes into the bedroom to have his bath even before he talks to you, because he's afraid of that perfume he has picked up from somewhere. He wants to dismantle every of his garment and rush into the bedroom. So there are behavioral patterns that changes just like that, just suddenly like that. So you have to be very observant. You have to be very observant. You don't just say my husband or my wife is in an affair without having critical things you have to point out at. So these are the things. And of course, the next thing I want to talk about is in the area of our instincts. That's the fifth point and the final point I want to make. Instincts. Instincts is very, very important. God has given us some certain things inside of us, in our spirit man, that anytime that there is a shift, anytime there is a shift in emotions, anytime there's a shift in our relationship, there are silent indicators inside of us that begin to ring, silent bells, silent alerts. So when you begin to think, am I sure that this man is not having an affair somewhere? There is a likelihood that he may be having an affair. When you begin to wonder within yourself, am I sure that this woman is not having an affair somewhere? I want you to check very well, because there are silent things inside of you that is begin to echo loud in your understanding, your perception of what is happening around you. So it may be an indicator. There are so many things that can show of a truth that a man or a woman is involved in an affair. So many things. And I believe that even in the next session, I will tell us more. Once again, if you are not yet subscribed to this channel, do so immediately. There's a red button by my side. Click on it and get subscribed. And let us do this over and over again to the glory of God. I thank you for taking out time to abide with me. And I believe, God, that at the end of the day, your marriage, your home will be a beauty under the sun. Have a wonderful season. God bless you.